Welcome to another episode of The Heart of the Matter. One of the biggest problems we have in Africa, especially Nigeria, is waste. However, this also is a huge opportunity. Today our topic is turning trash into cash. And we have with us Mrs. Chioma Ukonu, the founder of Recycle Points. My name is Omilola Oshikoya, and I do hope you enjoy this episode. Stay tuned. We have our guest, Mrs. Chioma Ukonu, the founder of Recycle Points, and we're talking about turning trash to cash. Welcome, Chioma, to the Heart of the Matter.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
It's a pleasure to finally interview you. I've seen all the amazing stuff you're doing
with
your business on social media.
Thank you so much.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background, about you, for people that want to know who you are?
Okay. My name is Chioma Ukonu, that's obvious. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Recycle Point. Recycle Point is Nigeria's first foremost waste recycling and social benefit venture. We collect the recyclable waste from post-consumers directly without this waste getting to the dump sites or the drainages or the waterways or water borders. So we collect them, harvest them, then work on them a bit in our collection and sorting hubs, and then we sell them off to recycling or manufacturing companies that will use them as raw materials. So actually, we started this as trying to replicate what we saw outside the country, courtesy of our family vacation, where we are mandated to sort our waste. So you see the different bins in front of your house, so you're automatically mandated to separate your waste.
No, we actually come to that. What I wanted to know was just your background, because I know you're a TEEP.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have also I got selected for TEEP. I got selected for Cherry Blair 500 Women CEOs, and I'm currently a student of the Social Sector Management in LBS and EDC, Pan-African University, to be precise. So,
and you're a wife and mother?
I'm a wife, a mother of 3 kids, and a graduate of industrial physics, electronic option.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
From physics to social sector.
Well done, well done. So I know from research, I know that you were in the banking sector, and now you're in recycling. So literally you went from cash to trash, to handling cash to trash. Tell me about that. How did that start? How did you do it afraid?
Really, it all started... Recycle Point was born while I was still in the because I went from telecom to banking. So while I was still in the telecom sector, myself and my husband, who is also my co-founder, so we had that dream of, how long are we going to stay in paid employment? What after paid employment? What next? What impact are we going to? Are we going to keep, running the whole Lagos traffic to and fro in the morning? He was on the oil and gas, and I was on the telecom. So we decided ourselves. It's good that I'm married to that man because he's a motivating factor. He would tell. So we work from 9 or 8 to 6. We stop for the paid employment. Then we close. We now, maybe go back to his office and stay like 7.
Wow, and then start
working for ourselves. So that's what we did for a very long time, for almost a year. We were very consecutive on that. We were building the ideas and, not just Recycle Point, we have other businesses that we're also building. So we did all of that. And when time came, I was, courtesy of the family, I was on any less. So I was one that could, be sacrificed to go, okay, hold on your career well, go and run this business that people are running for us, because we got people to employ people to, start.
But why recycling?
Okay, yeah, because we foresaw, we saw a sector that needed help, or where Nigeria needed help, because waste is a menace on every level, to every level of government in Nigeria, to even individuals. So when that thing happened to us outside the country,
so we went on holiday.
Yeah, and something happened. We actually trashed the wrong thing in the wrong bin, and we got fined for it. Oh, wow. So that was like the Eureka moment, or whatever moment. That was a turning point. We were like, okay, this is an issue in our own country. What can we do to help? So we didn't even think about the business angle first. So we're like, okay, let's save I came back, but brought in the new culture of waste segregation and separation in my house. So everybody knew that, down to the security man. Then from there, the message got to the street. My host, the neighborhood stores, when they finish selling, they just knock on the gate, give it to your madam. They pack cartons, corrugated, the Indomie cartons, the Pampa carton, everybody just brings in plastic. So at some point, we were like, okay, when we have thought of it, now built the model to sanctify it. So after the incentivization, everything just went well, I say haywire now. Everything just got big. So from there, we now moved. We couldn't hold it, of course, in our compound because we now got the land opposite us. And then at some point, we had to now get a main place where we call the collection and sorting hub. So at that point of increase of the waste, we're not asking ourselves, so what next? Is one thing to collect. What happens to the collected waste?
So, but can, and I'll go into that after, but can recycling actually work in Nigeria?
Yes, it's working.
Okay,
I have about 5,000 households registered under my scheme, and corporate firms. Just this week, we just signed on the Access Bank. So sustainability is key. We are living in a time where we have to do something. The current generation, have to do something to make sure that the next generation can also enjoy whatever it is that we're enjoying, or even a better environment than we have. So the corporate firms, the individual, the private sector, the public sector, they're all buying into the whole sustainability. Being sustainable, how are we going to, recycling is in goal 12. That's responsive consumption. Yeah. So, and other, gender, or everybody's, the global, not global, the SDGs now are being preached so well that even down to the grassroots. I'm taking mine to the grassroots. We started with the focus on low-income neighborhoods. My dealing in outreach in Makoko, that's the slum at the bank of the river there at Yaba, opened my eyes. So it was easy to preach recycling to a woman that may be selling beans.
I was going to say, how do you change the mindset of people? How do you persuade them?
Initially it was people were like, okay, what's this all about? But it's practical. If the place you are selling your ewa are going and the bread is flooded because the gutter is locked because plastic, pure water, nylon are inside the gutter. When you come and tell the woman, Iya Sikira, remove all these things inside your gutter and give it to me, I will give you a gift. Like, really?
Okay.
So once they just clear the glue, and once she just does that, and then she stops throwing the garbage into the gutter, and then water is flowing well, her shop is not flooded, customers can even come and sit and eat. So it's just very easy for her to understand. So I have women under my scheme that have been empowered. Aside from recycling and getting incentivized, they also come to the hub to work. So women the sorters are women. So our operation is women empowerment, youth employment, community engagement, and environmental sustainability. We can address.
It's actually getting quite interesting, but we have to take a quick break, so we'll continue after the break.
All right.
Viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter. We're still talking about turning trash to cash. Okay, so can we talk about the business? Because you said, obviously, you give them an incentive, and that's how you persuade them to sort out their waste. But clearly, I'm sure you're just not trying to make an impact. You're also trying to make money. It's a business. So what's the business around recycling? Is it actually profitable?
Yeah, it is. It is, and the market is there. So it's a very viable business and a sector we are trying to build. Because since 2012, Nike, the football giant, 2010, sorry, that's the South African World Cup, Nike had been producing their jerseys, the national football jerseys, from plastic bottles. So actually 7 of each shirt, each jersey is made from 7 plastic bottles. So this is really a huge market. So for recycling, instead of going down to extract new virgin product, raw material, why don't just recycle the one already in the system? So right from here in Nigeria, it's been made to yarns of polyester fibers, and then the covers have been made for plastic hangers, buckets, and chairs.
So in terms of making this, but that's if you own a recycling plant. So the recycling plant is the one that would then, manufacture these goods, right?
Yeah.
So do you own a recycling plant, or you just...
For now, we're perfecting our collection model.
Okay.
Collection is key. It's not easy to open a plant if you don't have a source of getting the raw material to run the machines in the plant. Yeah, so it will make economic sense. So currently, Recycle Point is currently trying to, better our collection model.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then you sell to recycle plants?
Yes, I do it. But we do a little small tier. In Nigeria, nobody's closing the loop on one house yet. So one person's end point is another person's starting point, another person's starting point, another person's end point. So that's how it is for now. That's why we've been able to close the loop on some of the recyclable materials we've gotten.
So are there actually recycle plants in Nigeria? Or you have to do this?
But locally and internationally, they are still, even the international ones have local consolidators here.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah.
Interesting. Clearly there's a huge opportunity. So what's the process? So how do you, I know there's the baling process where you turn them, what's the process from the consumer to the end?
Okay, you already know we run an incentive-based, point-based collection system where each plastic, one bottle is 1 point, one aluminum can is 1 point, 10 corrugated carton is 1 point, and then 10 pure water sachets is 1 point. So we've also collect glass bottles too. So basically, once the post-consumer is registered with us, either online on our website or by our waste busters, that's the young men that go to your house for pickup. So once you're registered, call us for pickup. We show up. After you finish collecting the sizable quantity, we show up. And then we issue you a green card, which is like a typical Isuzu card, something like that shows your pets, your can, all of that. So once they pick up from you, they show you how many quantity they've collected from you, sign and give it back to you and go away with this. And you get an alert saying, oh, this is what you have. So at the end of that, when they collect that, they get the material back to the collection and sorting, what you call the co-sub, community-based. And these women are there to remove the label, remove the PVCs, and remove the HDPs, LDPs, and all of them being segregated and aggregated according to their materials. Then it's being baled and all of that. The good thing is that we came up with this electric tricycle, first of its kind in Nigeria, and I think the Africa too, because it's first electric cargo tricycle for door-to-door waste collection, recyclable waste collection. We brought that in to reduce our carbon footprint and make collection more, to assess the unreached, and also to enable the waste buster, the young man that is riding it, so it won't be so tedious. So it moves like a normal tricycle, like a motor tricycle.
This is one you just launched.
Yeah, this is one we brought into the market. And it's easier for them. So, yeah, and then we now have our app too. We're coming up on our app, we're in the round face. So we're trying to, bring technology into it. Some people was like, okay, are you just only in the low-income neighborhood? No, we don't rule out anybody. So we're also trying to make it more interesting for the upper class. So, yeah, that's what we're doing.
So you recently launched a tricycle. So can you tell us about that? Okay,
yeah, it's the first of its kind. It's electric tricycle. We did that to cut down our carbon footprint while we are, trying to get this recyclables, harness them, or the fancy word now, urban mining. To get involved in urban mining, we also have to be very nice to the environment. So yes, that's also works, and we also have the school recycling scheme, because we want to teach the young ones to get involved in this early. So we decided to have the school recycling scheme where the students are taught about different materials in their science class, and then imbibe the habit of waste recycling.
So is this changing the curriculum, or you're...
No, it's just helping, bettering the curriculum, or,
Or no, are you going to do this by probably having sessions separate with the students, or you're trying to actually put this in the curriculum, their normal curriculum?
No, they do their normal science courses, but for the lower primaries and the younger ones that don't do science, like, we just, teach them generally, maybe at the assembly hall, introduce that to them, and, bring the color-coded beans for them so they can relate from what they saw in their class, where they were taught in class, to physically practicing it. So some schools have recycling day. So every of those kids have become, recycling ambassadors. On recycling days, they come with their recyclables from home. And like, oh, mommy, please don't throw this away anymore. I'm taking it to school. I'm going to recycle. My school needs to get a point to, redeem stuff. You understand? So it's very interesting. Some schools, when they're recycling, on their recycling day, you see even from parents, ask, can't you bring more materials? So these children have gone beyond learning to now teaching their parents and, opening their eyes more to see, oh, this and this and this can be used for this and that and that. So, yeah, we're catching them young. And also we have the corporate recycling, where corporate firms imbibe the waste recycling into their environmental policies. Okay. So they bring us on board to cut a way to teach the staff and then the cleaners, who are the main people in the front line of waste segregation, and then we take away. So, yeah.
And there's a door-to-door?
There's a door-to-door for individuals, door-to-door for households and individuals. So, yeah.
Interesting. So in terms of, let's talk about waste. There are other benefits to waste. You can turn waste to renewable energy. Do you, how does that work?
For now, we are concentrating on the waste recycling. That's buyback or recovery of plastics and aluminum cans and papers. But for sure, we have some other young Nigerians that are also doing good. They are making biogas from waste. They are making compost from waste. So these are things that we Nigerians or the government have to look into and empower young people to create more jobs while we are doing good to the environment. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we're going on another break.
Okay. We'll
continue our discussions after the break. Viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter. We still have with us Mrs. Chioma Ukonu. Okay, so what is the roadmap for getting more people aware or changing the mindsets of people? Because, for instance, in my household, we sort out our waste. We put our bottles in a bag. And this is only because my husband is a clean person, clean freak. But we have this lady that every time we throw our waste in the bin outside the compound, she comes to take out bottles, and she always messes up, the waste. So my husband decided that rather than doing that, let us sort out the bottles for her. Wow. So we actually leave them in a bag in the kitchen, and when she comes, we give her the bottles. But
I'm clapping for you guys.
This is not even us thinking about recycling per se, or we don't actually know what she does, and we're pretty educated, we're pretty exposed. So what is your plan to change the mindsets of more people and get more people in it?
Yes, we'll continue work on advocacy on culture change. We need to keep talking about this thing. On every platform available. Let's keep, is it in the school, in the church, in offices, even down to the grassroots. We have to keep preaching the message, because the more we talk about these things, the more people are like, oh, what are they even saying again? Oh, they start paying attention, and now from paying attention, they get to keep doing what we want them to do, and also we have to continue on our incentives.
Okay, so what kind of incentives do you give?
Oh, different household appliances, and we've also added cash too, so part of it for the households that recycle. You get different things as small as diapers, tissue paper to as big as a flat screen television, to as big as laptops, to as big as fridge.
So do you get a choice of what you want, or you just
get... there's a flyer. Once you get registered, you get the flyer of different array of things that are available, even recharge cards, call cards. So
every month or every time you deposit?
No, according to your the eligibility point for redemption is 5,000 points. So once you hit 5,000 points, you can say, okay, recycle points, 5,000 and above. I have 20,000 points with you guys, and I want to collect this phone.
Okay.
Can you give me, and that phone is 15,000 points. Can you give me this phone for the 15,000 points and hold on to the 5,000 and I keep building?
Okay.
So it's like a new lock-in.
So what about people I can understand that for maybe the bottom of the pyramid, middle class, but in terms of like people at the top of the pyramid who may not necessarily need the phones, the fridges, what kind of incentives would you give them? Oh,
okay, yeah, some youth.
No, I'm talking about the top of the pyramid now. Okay. So households where they're relatively affluent and they may not necessarily need certain, they can afford these things. So are there incentives for them? And also, even what are the business opportunities? So the second question is, what are the business opportunities for youths right now that are unemployed and may not necessarily want those gifts, but are there different opportunities for them to make money from this? Sure.
Okay, let me get the first question first. For upper families that don't need all those other house appliances, we have the Palms Gift voucher.
Okay.
We give to them, and we're trying to work out on flight ticketing. Okay. That's another part we're getting to. So they will need this part that I can give them. So we do the gift vouchers and for now. And some of them also say, oh, I don't want your gift, just give it to charity. And so whenever, maybe charity of your choice or of our choice. So I have people like that. Even corporate firms don't want the gift. They're like, okay, give it to charity. Okay. You understand? And also for young people, some of them say, Madam, I don't need this. I don't need any of this gift. I just want to take this as a business. And so the person has to get commercial quantity, collect this in commercial quantity, and I could buy it off the person. So they're called our independent suppliers. So we also have the independent supplier scheme where they take it up as their own commercial business and then we buy it.
So what kind of support do you have? Do you get people that sponsor? Because also it's a social project, or do you generate enough revenues from the business that's able to fund all these different incentives?
Okay, yeah, we've been doing it all by ourselves, honestly, and thank God for the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program, TIP, and they came in and...
I'm actually a mentor.
Okay. So I was so joyed when I was picked because we all know that waste recycling is new to us on the side of the globe. For competition to have picked out waste recycling, that means I felt very happy that people are beginning to catch the message and have seen us viable. So they gave us the seed grants and yeah.
Fantastic. So how can people support this cause? How can people that want to volunteer?
Okay.
How can they?
Yeah, we have volunteers for our cleanup project, which we run in conjunction with another house. It's called the Clean Up Nigeria. So we've done Clean Up Makuku, we've done Clean Up Kitu, and we are planning another cleanup. So where we have like 500 volunteers of youthful adults, coming from all walks of life to come and help out, clean up the place, and then we preach the message of recycling. So yeah, we welcome volunteers. You can also register on our website. We're trying to tweak that up now to come up.
Okay. Yeah. So there's the opportunity to volunteer, and there's also an opportunity to actually create a business from this. Okay, so my final question is recycling the solution to Nigeria's waste problem? Because we have a huge waste problem.
Yes, it is, because recycling cuts down the amount of waste going to the dump sites, and thereby cutting down, when they get to the dump site, they are burnt. All the greenhouse emissions and methane and all of that. So if me, you, all of us here can start recycling and preach that same message to another set of,
one can clean up Nigeria.
Yes.
And what are other benefits in terms of, even for the individual? What are the benefits of recycling?
It's a cleaner environment, better economy for Nigeria, because these things have export value. So it can also help in the foreign exchange and all of that. So health-wise, environmental-wise, and then there's social benefit, environmental benefits, and economic benefits on recycling.
Especially now that we're moving away from oil.
Yes.
So this is a huge opportunity
Yes.
for people to look into. Do you have any idea of numbers in terms of on the foreign end, the kinds of numbers? Like, well, some people say the hair industry is worth maybe $12 billion or any of those kinds of
I think
stats.
it's $4 billion on waste management industry. So we hope to, tap into that statistics here in Nigeria.
Definitely, well done.
Thank you
It
so
couldn't
much.
have been easy though, doing something new that people don't really understand, but I'm sure it's fulfilling.
Yes, it's fulfilling. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have interviewed you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're doing a fantastic job yourself.
Thank
and
you.
you're a big fan.
Thank you very much. To God be the glory. Viewers, thank you for watching this episode. We hope you have enjoyed it. We hope you have also been educated. If you'd like to join Mrs. Chioma Ukonu, volunteer or support in any way, her details are on the screen. Also, for youth that are watching that are unemployed right now, stop waiting for a job. There's so many opportunities around you. Just look at the problems. One of our greatest problems is waste. And you can see an entrepreneur who is turning this trash into cash, and you can do the same. Hope you enjoyed this episode again. Until next week, stay blessed.